Show me something.
There we go. I was slouching, all right?
Yeah, come on. Shit posture.
Hello and welcome to the Show Me Something podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Will.
I'm Trevor.
And today I showed the boys Wind River from 2017 by Taylor Sheridan. It's a Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen movie during the midst of their early Avengers days. Yeah, I watched this movie like a couple of years ago, probably like when it came out on Netflix or whatever, because I remember seeing it trending. And like it shows that little clip in the like when you hover over the movie too long of them getting bear maced, and I was like, well, I got to see what this is about.
Oh, it was bear mace. Damn.
I think it was because it
I'm
was that like
assuming it
little
was.
canister thing.
Whatever it was looked fucking terrible.
But yeah, I loved it when I watched it, and it's a really interesting movie about like life on a Native American reservation and like the unsolved murders and disappearances of people and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be an interesting one to bring to the boys. How you guys been? Any housekeeping or anything like that?
Yeah, man. All good. Nothing super major. Went to Chicago last weekend, as I had mentioned on the previous pod, which was a good time. Went to a big restaurant conference, which was fun. Got to try a lot of food.
Nice. Any Chicago style food? I'm talking hot dogs, pizza.
I had deep dish. Yep.
Nice.
We went, me and my friend Andrew. So I stayed an extra night after the conference with a buddy from back home who lives in Chicago. And we had Pequod's, which is one of the. It's like lesser known outside the city. You know, you hear about like Lou Malnati's and Gino's as like the best deep dish. Maybe you two don't hear about
Never
it.
heard of a thing.
I'm like, you're saying
Those
words,
are the
I
ones,
think.
If you look for
Amen,
deep dish
brother.
in Chicago, like those are the ones that come up. But Pequod's is apparently voted within the city like the best one, like 3 years in a row or some shit like that. Anyway, we went like on Sunday night to pop in, and it was like a 3-hour wait. So we ended up ordering delivery and then walked back to his house, and it got there right as we got home, which was good. Yeah, it was great. Brief content update. I watched The Northman, which was very good.
Nice.
And then I saw Top Gun Maverick Thursday afternoon in IMAX. And I just, in the most earnest way, please go see this movie, anyone who's listening, because it is very fun. It was me and like 75 dads in the theater. It's just full of dads.
That checks out.
So you blended in perfectly, right?
Yeah, 100%. The oldest theater demographic I've ever seen. It was also the most full theater I've seen since before COVID, which is not great. Kept my mask on because of that. But I popped down right in between like a drunken like foursome of people. Guy said he had been drinking since 7 a.m.
That's badass.
They were like 55. Like,
I wonder if it was my neighbor.
yeah, might have been. They were just tanking ass for Top Gun. They were hype. The guy next to me, like, I sat down and adjusted my chair, and he like tapped me, and he was like, "Hey, how do you do this? I've never been here before." So like, good dad energy. And then he was like, "Yeah, he was like, it's my first movie back since COVID," and I got to tell someone like, "Welcome back to the movies." Like, I'm Nicole Kidman in that AMC ad. So that was
You
fun.
are.
I am. Yeah, I basically am. So anyway, it was great, and it's for sure the best movie I've ever seen in an IMAX format. Better than Dark Knight. Better than Dunkirk. It was magnificent, and this is really trying hard to take my Tom Cruise bias out of the equation, right? It's just a very
impossible.
fun movie. It's not. It's a Mission Impossible, which I also saw the trailer for that in the theater, which looked great. Anyway, it's all fine. You should see Top Gun. It's a lot of fun. Even if you don't like the first one, it's just a very good action movie.
I saw it's got a better rating than the original.
It's so much better than the original. It's so much better.
It has a better user and critic rating than the original one.
Yeah, it's like I think probably the first or one of the best like sequels, you know, made like decades after the fact.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I had a great time. I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah, I really like the original, so I'll have to go.
I
I'll have to go
I
see
just
it.
watched the
Yeah.
original for the first time last week, and I loved it.
It was a missed opportunity. I didn't realize you guys hadn't seen it. So
I know I hadn't seen it.
I've
and
told
I,
you time and time again, we've never seen any of these dad movies before, and that's on you.
Yeah, that is on you. We did talk
That is
about
on
this
me.
last week. This is your niche, Trevor.
apparently,
Outside of anime, it's dad moves.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a long intro from me, so that's what's up. Go see Top Gun. What's up, Trev?
Hell yeah.
not a whole lot. Went to the beach with Jacob.
Oh, yeah, I missed that one. Pissed about that.
We got really drunk
There'll
at
be
the
more
beach.
times. Yeah.
It was really fun.
Those high noons go down way too well when you're floating around in the water.
Yeah.
So do the
feel like
BLAs,
being
man.
drunk at the beach would be really unfun for me.
No,
Oh,
it's
it's
great.
so fun.
It's so nice.
It's so fun.
I don't see it being fun, but I'm happy.
It's a
for you
really
both.
good time.
I mean, I'll try
Um,
it, but I just,
Good. You'll
knowing
have to.
me, I'm probably not gonna like it, but I'll try it.
Only content I really watched, other than a bunch of YouTube, is I saw the new season of Love, Death, and Robots. That was really, really good. I feel like it's like the rating is like season 1, season 3, and then season 2.
Okay. Didn't know there were
Season
3
3.
seasons.
Yeah, season 3 felt like a bit of a return to form. Not that season 2 was bad by any means, but it just something felt like it was missing from it. I don't know what it was, but this season felt very good. All the shorts in it I really enjoyed.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, I think I've only seen the first season of that. That was
Should
like
watch it.
ages ago.
Yeah,
Should-
I've only seen a couple episodes. I don't think I saw the whole season.
I really like it. I really like Love, Death, and Robots. It's I just like little snippets of like weird shit like that, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthologies are a good time.
I love
sure.
anthologies. It's good. Just opens the possibility for stories.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice. Other than that, did I watch anything else? Not really. Not really much has been going on either. I mean, we're doing another early morning recording.
Yeah.
Well, early morning.
That's
It's
going to be how it
11:48.
is for, the
A
time
bit.
being.
Yeah, our schedule's still bad for us all getting to hang out. So, yeah, that's
Did you
kind of
guys
it
watch
for me.
Kenobi yet?
No.
Oh, yeah.
To time this, I already watched it as well. 2 episodes already dropped
Yeah.
like 2 days ago or whatever it was, 2 or 3 days
Yeah.
ago.
We're recording this Sunday after the first 2 came out.
I loved it.
Me too.
I was absolutely loved the first 2 episodes. So
I'm so
I'll
good.
say-
happy.
Yeah, I need to watch still. I
Ewan is
was
back.
gonna watch it too, not last night, but the night before. But I had to watch this movie, and then last night
Oh,
I was trying to
sorry.
just go to bed as soon as possible, and that still didn't work out. But
Yeah, it was good. I was nervous after the Book of Boba Fett, but this one's a return to like season 1 of Mando.
Yeah,
type of-
return
type
to
of energy.
form.
Yeah, it was fun.
I also watched season 3 of Succession finally, which was great.
How
Big-
about that finale, man?
Big fan, so good. It's just infuriating, but
Yeah.
the characters are awful people, but they're very funny.
Tom Wamsgans forever.
Yeah, cousin Greg, shout. He's got a $40,000 watch for no reason. It's broken. And I also watched Our Flag Means Death off of Abby's recommendation. She was like,
Oh, the HBO pirate show.
yeah, the Taika Waititi show. Funny show, good time. Abby's watched it like 2.5 times now.
Whoa, jeez.
oh,
Yeah, it
Never
was a
heard
good
of it.
time. Yeah, it
to
seems
try
like
it.
it's gonna become a big time cult show. Like the people that love it are like absolutely
Really?
into it, like obsessed with it. I've been like people talk about it at work that are huge into it and everything, and I'm like, yeah, it was really good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to. I don't think I watched. Oh, I mean, I watched the animated TMNT movie.
you did do that, yes.
I'm gonna watch the other ones too, the Michael Bay produced ones. That'll be a good time. We'll get around to that. What?
Yeah. No, Michael Bay just bums me out. But I'm
He
sure
didn't
they'll be
direct
fun.
them; he produced them.
Yeah, they'll be fun.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to. What'd you guys think of the movie?
Yeah, I liked it. I watched it. I woke up at 8 a.m. and watched this movie. So a real tense start to the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, this had been one that's been on my list for quite a while. I like Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen a lot. I also enjoy seeing them outside of the MCU. I wish, I look forward to the day when they're actually able to return to like normal movie careers.
Yeah.
And like do their own thing and make their own choices, because I think they're both really interesting actors.
Well, hasn't she talked about it before? Like she's not able to
Just
do
recently,
a lot of roles
yeah.
because of it.
Because they're shooting constantly because she's in so many of
sucks.
them. So yeah, it's whack. And I mean, there's so many people that are in that same position, but whatever, it'll pass. Hopefully, I guess. But yeah, it was good. It's a tough watch, I would say. It's not very fun. It's thrilling. The acting is very good. The setting is wonderful. I think Taylor Sheridan is a better writer than he is a director, based on seeing this and then the other movies that he's written, Sicario and Hell and High Water in particular. But he's definitely got a particular style, and he's pretty good at that style. Yeah, it's this will surprise probably no one who actually listens to this podcast, but the bit of the white savior bit is kind of whack, but I think that's fair if it's based on true stories and all that. So beyond that, yeah, it was good. I think 7 out of 10, a good one. Not one I'll watch again, but I'm glad to have seen it. Yeah, glad you brought it. What about you, Trev?
Right on.
I also really liked it. Yeah, big Marvel cast with not only Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, but also John Bernthal showing up later on. So I was like, yeah, going through. I was like, oh shit, more Marvel. Dang.
This is a fucking MCU movie, dude.
It is. I really liked it. I liked it, like the setting. It was a really interesting out in like the frozen wastelands of Wyoming, which I've been to Wyoming tons of times. Love it out there.
Like a fucking hellscape, man.
I put on my Wyoming t-shirt, or one of my 3.
Did you catch the dig at Jackson Hole?
I did, and I loved
fuck
that.
Jackson Hole.
That's the only place I've been in Wyoming.
Yeah, and they're like the billionaires kicked out the millionaires.
It's so funny they said that because literally I heard people say that when I was in Wyoming.
They're probably referencing the movie, I assume.
They might have been.
No, they're probably
like, I don't know. It was like our shuttle driver one year when we were out there and we didn't have a rental. We just were taking the shuttle from the hotel into town and stuff. And he was like, yeah, the billionaires pushed out the millionaires, which is unironically true.
Trevor, how did your family become a $1 billion rancher family? How did this
They're
happen?
not.
Well,
Wait, do you vacation out there? What's the context for you being out there multiple times?
Growing up, we had friends that did own a house out there. And we would go out there with them. And then my dad absolutely loves it out there. So, like, if he gets to decide kind of like, oh, well, where do you want to go on the next vacation? He's going to be like, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And so we go and
there are
like,
other places, Dad.
Yeah, I think that's what my mom's been saying this whole time. Which I love it out there too. It's really cool, but I also would like to try.
To Wyoming. Honest question.
Since
no, how many times could a man go?
Could a man go? He would probably live out there if he could.
Damn.
Maybe. I don't know about the snow. I feel like he would go out there and be like, yeah, this is great, and then actually have to shovel snow, and then he'd be like, never mind, this shit sucks. So, yeah, so I liked that little dig, and I was like, hey, I know what they're talking about. That's cool. Yeah, really liked the movie. It was very intense. The couple of action scenes, I guess if you want to call them that, were very, like, brutal, and I love that. I love that kind of shit. Yeah. The hunting aspect of it was really cool. I grew up around people who did that. I didn't hunt a ton. Not anything like tracking or anything like that. My hunting consisted of birds primarily and the occasional hog. And a little bit of deer. But yeah. Good times. It was a cool movie. I really liked it. 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10.
Right on.
Whoa.
Really good.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I rewatched this like 2 days ago in the morning when I got up before work, and I actually liked it way more than I did the first time. The first time I guess I had given it an 8 out of 10 on IMDb. And then this time I revised it to a 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. It got a really huge emotional response out of me, which is the biggest part of it. Like basically crying the entire movie.
Wow.
Really?
Just the entire thing was incredibly tense and just sad as hell. And it seemed like the entire reservation and like the area they were in was just so bleak and like hopeless. It just was so sad, for the position that they're put in, that there's just basically no help. They just are just fucked from the start. And then some of the scene we'll talk about later on of like an assault and everything was just like just horrible. Like like
that was
literally was able to like I was basically trembling the entire scene. So for a movie to be able to get like these emotional responses out of me is just like it just pushed it way ahead. Even with its issues. And, I was thinking the same thing as you were, Will, about the white savior thing when I was rewatching it. I was like, Will's going to be pissed.
I'm not pissed. I mean, it's just a bummer that can't be an indigenous person, saving the day. But I get it.
Jeremy Renner, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
And Elizabeth Olsen, they fly in 2 white people to
be fair,
help the indigenous.
The white people were also the bad guys.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I think, I say that as the quote unquote snowflake of the podcast, and I'm fully aware of
Toughen
that.
up, bitch.
Yeah.
But I also think that, like you said, it's and I won't ramble too far into your section, but the portrayal of like there's no tracked stat of disappearances of indigenous women, like that's really fucked up.
What? Yeah, that surprised me.
So like shedding light on that is really important. So like, yes, the white savior thing is a thing that I'll gripe about, but I think overall it's like it's a really important story to tell, and yeah, for sure, it's fucking heavy.
Yeah, it's just a really intense movie, and it is a hell of a rewatch and a hell of a watch to begin with. So I totally get you saying you probably wouldn't watch it again, but
nah, I'm good.
I still think it was worth it to show you guys.
For sure.
It's a crazy movie, and we'll dig deep into that now if you guys want to get into the spoilerini zone, because I pretty much finished my section.
Cool.
Do you guys see Pip though behind Jacob? Just
he's kind of.
He's going ham.
He's going. I love it.
He's going absolutely ham bone right now. He's pissed.
Look at him.
We'll give Cobb a sec just to get back to the.
Look at him. Yeah.
He's so sad.
I love it.
Can we briefly, I'm sure we all have things we want to jump to, but just because it starts with inspired by actual events, this is just a dumb nitpick on my end, but why actual events and not real events?
What do you mean? Just like the verbiage that they used?
Yeah, strictly a verbiage.
I don't know.
I don't like it.
I mean, it's not
like
based on a one specific thing. It's just based on a general issue, right? So it's not like real life events. It's just
okay.
Like, I don't know. Maybe that's the reason, you know?
I'll take that.
Because it's not a specific thing.
Yeah, actual just seems kind of snooty, but I think you're right that's a good generalization for it. Okay, cool. I'm satisfied.
Right
with
on.
that.
I'm glad you had that, Jacob. I had nothing. I was gonna be like, "That's the word they picked." That's
Yeah.
The opening is I mean the whole movie is haunting, but the first note that I took after that stupid actual real thing is that the opening is really haunting, and the title shot is incredible. I'm such a sucker for a title shot. Like, I don't know what it is that makes that such a thing that I enjoy, but like her running across the Natalie running across the frozen fucking wasteland of Wyoming, and then the title coming up, and also the music that they play throughout, where it's like got this like really low singer, like, or it's like almost like spoken word poetry at certain points, is so scary. It's like I could never, if I ever heard that stuff again, I'd probably like need a moment to myself, kind of thing.
Yeah, the the very beginning, it starts off just immediately tense as fuck, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
god.
Like, oh, this is
So
what we're
tense.
in for the whole time. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
My very first note is, what's she running from?
Good question.
Yeah, I mean,
that was
and
just-
finding
yeah.
out that she ran 6 miles in the snow,
Fucking
like
badass. Like,
no shoes, in pajamas with a coat, like
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
horrific, man. And also the cause of death too. Like I've never obviously been in a climate like that for a prolonged period of time, and hearing about like how somebody can die from
Yeah.
their lungs freezing and exploding and then choking on your own blood. Like
you
I
just
was like,
drown in your own blood.
This is
which
awful.
Fucking
This is
Yeah.
crazy.
truly
that's
awful.
insane. I had not heard of that. Like, and I've been out there. It gets really fucking cold. I had no idea that was a thing that would happen to people.
Why
but
did
it makes
Jeremy
sense.
Renner at the very end, just jumping around quickly since we're on the topic, was he just okay because he had warm clothes on? Is that why he was able to breathe the same air that Homeboy died from?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
he wasn't running either, so he wasn't like exerting himself. You know, I think it's
He
that
also
prolonged
wasn't-
running.
Also, like, whenever you're running and stuff, you're intaking and you're inhaling and exhaling a lot more,
Yeah.
a lot faster.
Gotcha.
So your body's not like warming up the air as it comes in and stuff like that. Like,
I figured there was a reason for it, but I was like, I don't understand that really. So,
also
makes sense.
because the guy at the end was a bitch. So
fuck
Dude.
that guy. Yeah, he just looked like such a fucking scumbag too. Great
I mean,
really
he looked
did.
like the
Oh.
person. Yeah, it's excellent casting.
that poor guy.
Oh.
I can't imagine him ever being anything but that.
Other
fucking
than an
raper.
asshole. Yeah.
raper piece of shit. Anyway, we can jump back to the beginning. Yeah, I miss Jeremy Renner being in stuff that's not Hawkeye, dude. I like really like
Yeah.
him as an actor, even though I think he has sort of settled into kind of a specific type of role. But like The Hurt Locker is like what was one of my favorite movies growing up, and I was like so blown away by him in that movie.
He was in the Bourne remake too.
Yeah,
Remember
I don't
that?
think I ever.
I saw it in
saw
theaters.
that.
Didn't like it that much. I remember the ending being fucking stupid, and then they never made another movie. So
They tried to make him Bourne, right? Wasn't he going to be like the one who took it over?
Basically,
or was he
yeah.
the bad guy?
no, he was the new Bourne guy.
He was also supposed to take over Mission Impossible from Tom Cruise. He was introduced into the franchise to take over, and then Tom Cruise was like, "Nah, fuck."
Tom
this.
Cruise was like, no shot. You know
I'm gonna
that,
do
right?
this until I die. Yeah, but then they kept him around, thankfully, and he's good in those movies too. But yeah, it's fun to see him in more dramatic,
Yeah.
less goofy roles.
Yeah, I like him. He's good.
He's really good, and so is Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah. Huge
don't know.
Olsen stan here.
You like Olsen? Yeah,
she's so good, man.
Have you seen Marcy May Marlene?
No.
That's like the first
Never
thing I
heard
ever
of
saw her in. I think it's maybe her first. It's not her first role necessarily, but the first thing she got like notoriety for. It's a really also a fucked up movie about cults, but it's really good, and she's
Sounds interesting.
amazing in it. It's from probably like 10 years ago, 12 years ago at this point.
damn.
But yeah, it's really good. Anyway, yeah. Where do y'all want to start, or what do you want to talk about?
So what do you guys think about the police force being 6 dudes for the size of Rhode Island?
It makes perfect sense, unfortunately,
It-
for the area that it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very I think Wyoming is one of the states with the least population, like per mile or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
That makes
it's
sense.
insanely low because of just how much open space there is. It's just more or less uninhabitable.
Yeah.
Like, people just have all this land. It's either government owned or privately owned or
billionaires.
reservation land. Yeah. And so it's just like nothing's out there except wildlife and farm animals.
Yeah.
It's like we saw with Jeremy Renner's character being I think he's in the movie. He works for Fish and Game, like
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Or-
That's what his truck
He
said.
does.
pest control. But I did do when I was doing some other little bit of research. Apparently, that was moved to the Department of Agriculture. The culling of predatory animals and stuff like that
Gotcha.
is not a Fish and Game thing by the time this movie was made. But also states vary, states' rights and all that shit. Like, different states will have different government branches do different shit sometimes. So
It could be different
Regardless.
in the res too.
exactly, yeah. Although I'm not sure if he works for the res. I think he works state, and then I think he works for the state technically.
Yeah, because he goes into Wind River. Yeah, fair.
Yeah. But anyways, what was I getting at? I forget what my point was.
I don't know, but you remember that shot of those cute little mountain lions in their
I was
den?
like, he
That
just took that so in stride. I would have like had a panic attack. They're just
I think he's got to. He can't be showing fear.
The fact that he got that close to them
They're
without the mom attacking him, and also,
She gave him a warning. She growled. She said, "Hold up."
and the fact that he turned his fucking back to them.
No solicitors.
Well, he went up and around them, didn't he? I thought.
I don't care. They're behind
Trevor doesn't
him.
care.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're gonna get attacked by a mountain lion.
No, they were
some,
babies.
Give us some gun talk, Trevor, because that rifle that he had was fucking insane.
That was a Marlin 4570 government lever action rifle.
Government?
18. That is the 1895 SBL version. I unironically have wanted that gun almost exactly for years.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Why don't you have a sick gun bench in your house where you're making your own ammunition?
Because it costs a lot of money to do that.
But it looks
that thing
cool
was
on
crazy.
film.
I would love to. I actually unironically want to get into reloading as well.
Really?
I think that would be really cool to do. It's good if you're interested in doing subsonic stuff. Because then you can like do your own tests, figure out exactly how. It's a whole science behind it, of like, yeah, pressure waves and stuff like that from different types of powders burning at different rates and stuff like that to achieve
what would
different
you
velocities.
need that gun for if you don't hunt?
I hunt on occasion, but also it's big and cool.
Well, I guess that's fair, I guess. That thing was blowing people away.
It was.
Dude,
last
the
gunfight was
scene,
insane.
the last gunfight when he's sniping those people,
And just like shotgunning them.
they
like,
got
it was
blown back
wild.
like 6 feet every time.
Which is
Thoughts on that, Trevor?
dramatized, obviously.
I think
but
accurate.
I
would
wish
still
accurate.
definitely leave a very big hole in them because 4570 government is a massive round.
You're telling me it wouldn't blow the dude back like that?
I need to look it up because I want.
He's using a 500 grain bullet, I believe, according to his reloading stuff. Whenever he was like, they were showing all that,
Yeah.
which is fucking huge, it's massive. Yeah,
Oh
let me
my
see.
god. Fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the government.
70.
Government. Those are crazy. So those are specifically for big game hunting.
Yeah, more or less.
Shit.
I would
Jacob,
consider those goons to be big game,
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
I'll throw-
Here's a comparison chart. That's 357
That's really good.
Magnum right next to it.
For
Which
all
you've
you
shot, Jacob.
video
You've
users.
shot 357 Magnum at my house.
I did. That was
It's,
yep.
It's literally half the size of 4570. That's terrifying.
I don't think I could handle it because the Magnum that I shot at your parents' farm was already too much.
It was big.
Give me the 22 back. It was the easiest thing.
22 forever, dude. That's pretty much all I've ever shot.
22's fun. No, 22s are a good time. But I would love,
Like a little pellet gun.
I would love that 4570 government, man. It'd be awesome.
Government.
The big, I love the lever action too, man. I would love that they had him with a lever action. It's just,
Yeah, he was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
just his whole vibe was great.
His
and
whole
also
kit.
very sad.
yeah.
But the shots of him like traveling the wilderness were so beautiful. And the
Wyoming's
snowmobile
gorgeous.
action. I mean, yeah, it's gorgeous, and it's also, I feel like they were intentional about making it look really hellish. 'Cause
Yeah,
it just,
for
like,
sure.
goes with the story, but there were some shots where I was like, "Dear God, I don't ever want to be here."
I'm sorry. I was just looking at Jacob trying to deal with him.
He's gonna come back and meow almost immediately, I bet.
Oh, for sure.
What's the over under on minutes that you get from Pip before he starts meowing at the door again?
5.
Okay. We were just talking about how beautiful and also hellish the scenery was, and how cool the snowmobile travel scenes were.
Oh yeah, that was tight. Apparently that's just the way you have to get around. Like
That makes sense.
like
Yeah,
even during
sure.
filming they couldn't get around by car apparently.
No.
It's wild. It's so wild.
I love the
Don't know anything about that. Lived in Florida my whole life.
yeah, exactly. I've ridden snowmobiles. I've driven them. They're really fun to drive.
They seem fun.
But I also only ever done trail riding. Well, no, I did a little bit when I was younger. They would let us out in like an open field area, and we could like ride around. The last couple of times we went, they didn't let us do that for some
In
reason.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's very cool. I definitely recommend getting to go snowmobiling at some point if you ever get the chance. It's very fun. Very different
scary.
experience.
Looks scary.
I mean,
I'm a baby. I wouldn't do it.
I also grew up riding four-wheelers and stuff,
would
so it's
do
not that dissimilar from those.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
fair.
fun.
Just very different. It's very similar, but at the same time incredibly different.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I love the sick tank treads on the guy's four-wheeler at
Yeah.
the oil rig.
That scene
Those
was so tense.
Oh my god, that was insane.
The
not
fucking
like it.
oil rig, dude. Yeah, so
Did not
Do we
like
just
it.
go
give
to
me you
that?
guys, give me you guys your impressions of it, because I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But it still fucked me up, even though I knew it was coming. Maybe even worse.
Like I was like half and half between like, oh, there's gonna be like some sort of like shootout or something, and the other half of me was like, there's no way these oil rig guys are gonna shoot a bunch of cops. Like what?
Dude, right
Yeah.
from the jump, sorry, they like when they started flanking him and the cop like could tell.
Noticed?
And
Oh,
he
yeah.
start freaking out. Like
Yeah.
Which
Not,
good instincts on him.
great instincts on him.
Yeah.
Also
the
great
way they
dying
all
words
just-
where he was just like, "Get some" or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, the way they all just kind of pulled up out of nowhere was like very daunting, and I was like,
Yeah.
this- And also, like, I just, we're in the last 30 minutes of the movie. Like, clearly something is about to go down, whether it's here or shortly after this. But for sure, I was very on edge during that whole thing. I really liked the introduction of Bernthal and the way you think he's going to open the door for Elizabeth Olsen, but it's actually it's a flashback. I thought that was pretty cool.
And that's
Shame,
so sad.
shame to not see more of him. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like-
that shit was really awful. I don't ever want to see an assault on film ever again. Don't show that to me.
It's absolutely brutal.
It's like, and it's so sad because it's like, you think I was expecting whoever her boyfriend was going to be, like, it turned out John Bernthal, but like whoever he was, I was expecting, he was kind of a piece of shit too, or something like that. And then you like get introduced and they have this whole really nice like plans, like they're going to leave,
Yeah.
they're going to live together in
He was a
California.
sweetheart. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, damn, that's awful. Oh, because I really wanted them to be happy at that moment, and I knew it was coming, but I was like, maybe not.
I mean, they
Maybe-
were happy in that small little moment,
Yeah,
Yeah.
before these incredibly drunk rednecks came out and decided it was going to be the worst night of anyone's life. Like,
like
Really
Jesus.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to spend much time on that specific scene, unless y'all have more to say. But I
no, I just think the escalation of the scene was well done. Like, it felt like a realistic escalation of like drunk people come in, they can't coherently handle someone telling them to leave because in their head like everything is a joke or whatever, and then it just turning angry on a dime, like getting
Yeah,
he almost took him too. He almost was able to take like 5 dudes on.
Yeah.
He was.
John Bernthal he's a beast.
He was jacked.
he's
always
always jacked, and he even mentioned, he was like, yeah, I'd rather go, like, because of course it feels like John Bernthal's characters are always military vets. So he was like, yeah, I'd
It's
rather
the
go
beard.
back. Yeah, I guess. It's a
You
beard
can't,
and the
you
body
can't
type,
have a
I
sculpted
guess.
beard like that and a chin like that and not be ex-mil.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, and I just,
But then the very last part too of him like telling her to leave as he's being like
Murdered.
kicked to death,
absolutely
basically.
beat to shit.
Like, he knows he's not making it out at that point.
No.
He's like, I'm going to try and take as many as I can with me. Unfortunately, he didn't take anyone with him, but
It's awful.
I was it'd have been nice if he could have at least killed Pete at that moment, but
Yeah.
I think I want to talk about Pete's death. I want to talk about that death.
Yeah,
That was good. I loved that. I know we kind of already talked about it, but
yeah. He takes him to the top of or near the highest peak in Wyoming, right? Is what he says.
it's like, I'm going to give you a chance if you tell me the truth, and he did, which,
He gave him the same chance she had.
yeah. I love that. As soon as like he was like freaked out about his lack of shoes, he's like, "Where are my boots? Where are my boots?" I was like, "Oh, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
This is." Oh, I loved it.
I mean,
loved
it
so
was
much.
it was for Jeremy Renner's character and for the other dad, right?
Martin.
Because both of their daughters died. I felt like it was like him being able to maybe have some sort of closure on his end, even though it's unrelated.
Yeah.
It was definitely some amount of closure for him.
Also,
Right.
absolutely brutal. The daughters were best friends. Both winded up dying incredibly early.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, we never find out, what
Never
happens.
could.
What happened to Emily?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
Um,
I actually kind of appreciate that. I almost feel like if they had showed like somehow these guys were also involved in that or
I don't
something
think that
like
would have been
that.
very good.
No, it wouldn't have been because there's so many. It adds that realism of like some you just never know sometimes, and it sucks.
There was
but
no
you
way
can-
to know. That's like the
There's
whole
no way to
point
know.
of the movie.
Yeah. So at least him getting a little bit of closure from, this incident, and Martin going like, "I hear there's one missing," and he's just like, "No, there's not."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "How'd he go out?" And with a whimper, and I was like, "Damn, it's a badass line."
Yeah.
I loved that. Like that was such a nice moment of them just sitting together,
Yeah.
being. What a shitty way to bond.
Two sad
guess.
dads.
Like it's nice that they have each other to like just be with, I guess. But
I mean,
also
There's like
shit
that.
circumstance.
There's like that little bit of hope, right? That he can try to reclaim some sort of relationship in life with his son.
Yeah, they both at least have a son to try and be strong for,
Yeah.
I guess, if nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully
It was,
that guy's son is able to turn his life around.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That was a good conversation between the two of them.
On the police car.
Pretty unceremonious death for Ben. I felt kind of weird about.
Yeah.
He just like dies and there's no mention of it. Like he was pretty much the third main character
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie. We spend the most time with him behind Renner and Olsen, and he just gets shot and falls over, and that's it. Like no mention or any kind of moment. That was
I
kinda
mean,
whack.
the entire police
Realistic.
force of the reservation
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what the hell are they gonna do now? I guess.
Yeah.
New
not
recruits.
Great. Not great.
I
What do we think of Elizabeth Olsen? We didn't really talk much about her character.
we didn't.
She was from Fort Lauderdale.
She was.
Florida
Yeah.
via Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought she was good as like a, basically fish out of water FBI agent. New FBI agent. I think she was like rookie
She
or
seems
whatever,
green.
yeah.
Yeah, on the newer end, she was in weapons training. I think is what they were saying in Vegas when they called her out.
Yeah. She did
So-
pretty good with her weapon.
Oh, very.
She did. Also,
Yeah,
she got
Sick.
shot through a door by a shotgun at close range.
That was horrifying. I thought she was gonna die.
That was-
I thought
that
that would
was-
be her death. That would be like, okay. I mean, Sheridan does that kind of stuff. Obviously, like kills characters pretty ruthlessly, but I'm glad she didn't. Classic, like completely unnecessary butt shot when she's first introduced. Which also,
mean-
it
Oh,
was
when
a
she's
good
putting
joke.
on the snow.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
It was a good
like,
joke, but I
The
was
mom
like,
was
why?
making fun of her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice way to sneak in a butt shot in a completely
grandma.
unnecessary way. But yeah, the moment too when she walks out in that snowsuit and it pans to her, the picture of his daughter, and it's like the exact same outfit. I mean, man,
So
this movie's a
sad.
bummer, dude. Like,
It really.
it's a real fucking bummer.
Yeah. And then, like, even when they go and talk to the dad of the missing girl for the first time, and, Elizabeth Olsen's character hasn't, like, really, like, changed yet at all. So she is, like, still in, like, normal protocol FBI mode, and she wants to talk to the wife and goes in the room. I forgot that happened. I forgot that the mom was just in there, like, self-harming the shit out of herself.
That was wild. I was not expecting. That was the last. I don't think it even was crossed my mind at all. I was just like, oh, she's gonna scream at her, or she's gonna be like unconsolable. I don't know, all these different things. And then it was like, oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, yeah, just back out of that room.
And
Like,
for the police chief knew too, man. He was like, don't,
He tried to stop
don't
her,
go in
yeah.
there.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
that's
a rough one.
Then you see the mom later too, sleeping in her daughter's bed upstairs in the
I really
frigid,
thought-
cold ass house.
yeah. I really thought when Jeremy Renner's character came back and he was like trying to
Couldn't
talk
find
to them.
Martin. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fully expecting him to find both Martin and his wife like dead.
That would've been
They
too
definitely,
much.
they definitely framed it that way. I mean,
Yeah,
it was intentional. I feel like because I felt the exact same way, but I was also like, I think that would be just overkill at
Yeah.
that point to do that. I mean, as if this fucking movie isn't bleak enough as it is.
yeah, you're not wrong, but it just really felt like it, and I really thought the mom was dead when like he found her like sleeping in the girl's bed. I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, she like took something or like bled out or something
Yeah.
on her daughter's bed or something like that, and thank God she didn't, guys. We needed that last little bit of morbid hope, I guess is what you
Yeah.
could call it.
I mean,
And-
she was still presumably in like a paralyzed amount of grief.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
You
sure. Ugh.
Like even the dad makes his he says he puts on like his war paint or whatever, and he says
His
he just
death
like made
face.
it up. Yeah, his
Death
death
face.
face. Yeah, he just made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, just to have that emotional response where you're like, you got to do something. He feels like he has to do something. You know.
Oh god, I think the biggest thing for me was when, what is Jeremy Renner's character's name? I keep forgetting.
Corey.
It's Jeremy Renner.
Corey. When Corey shows up, the first time that they were talking to them, and he just looks at Martin and like just kind of nods, and then Martin
starts
breaks down.
crying. Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that moment. That was like I think the closest I got to being emotional for this movie was during that moment. I was,
was
like,
it.
damn. I don't know what's wrong.
I was
with me.
crying the whole fucking movie, dude.
I mean, to be fair, I'm the biggest crier on the podcast. I didn't cry either. I was just
Okay, cool.
really tremendously bummed out the whole time, but it didn't bring me to tears.
Yeah, but that moment there, whenever they just have that like understanding together,
Yeah.
it's just like, fuck, man,
It's a lot. It's
it's
a
a
lot.
lot.
On a
is-
lighter note, Jeremy Renner looks unbelievably good in Carhartt.
Yeah.
and I don't want to ever see him wearing anything else. I want that.
Dude, I love Carhartt. I love my Carhartt jacket.
I have that Carhartt jacket that he's wearing, that brown one, the underneath one. That's my New York winter jacket. I still have it. It's the
Nice.
greatest jacket I've ever owned.
I have something
It's
similar
amazing.
to it. I
Do you
have mine's a
have
lot
that
darker
cool-
colored.
The cool pack you can put on your chest.
No,
Sick.
that pack is tight. Yeah, I mean he
The
just
cool
was-
chest pack, yeah.
He had great fits the whole time. He looked,
Trevor, you
just
should
looked
carry with something like that around at work. So you just have your stuff in it.
just a chest
My
pouch.
pen and my flow sheet and stuff just in a little chest pouch.
and
your
maybe
phone.
like a granola bar or something.
phone, wallet, keys. Just keep your
Yeah.
pockets empty. Maximum movement.
Honestly,
His-
you know?
that's
It was magnetic too, so it was like he was like popping it open and it just was like opening and shutting. It was great.
Yeah.
Realized I was doing like a whole hand motion
I couldn't
off
see
camera.
It was good though.
Yeah, I
Saw a
looked
little
up
blur of fingers at one point, but that was
I
it.
understood.
like
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Very
also
good
haven't
movie.
seen any of the those other two movies that you were talking about at the beginning, Sicario or
Wait, what?
what's the other one? Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water.
I haven't seen either
I need
one
to
either.
see them.
Oh, don't watch them. I'll just bring. I'll change my pick and I'll bring one. 'Cause
What?
They're both really good.
For the next pick, we're not
Yeah.
doing.
We'll do it, but we'll just. You know me. I like to do themed pairings. I'm a sucker for that. So if I have the opportunity to do that, plus I was gonna rewatch them anyway because of this. So. There
we go.
I'm happy to audible. Plus, you don't give a shit about my next pick anyway. So,
False.
We were talking about it yesterday on our
were you
walk
really?
at work.
Oh, that's
yeah,
exciting. Okay, fine. Maybe
because I think I'm gonna watch all of them still.
Okay, then I'll stick with that pick, but I'll bring.
No, you can. It'll give me more time to watch all the rest of them. If you bring one of
Okay,
these,
that's fair. Then yeah, sure. Let's do Sicario. It is Denis Villeneuve. He is my favorite director, probably working right now. So that's also themed because I've brought Arrival already. So I've got 2 for 2.
Yeah, I
in
saw
terms of-
apparently Renner almost wasn't able to do this movie because of Arrival.
Really?
Because of filming and stuff. But then he was able to after they like recast it. It was going to be Chris Pine then, and then Chris Pine couldn't do it, and then Rayner was like, "Yeah, I can do it."
Wow. Well, I mean, Chris Pine's really good in Hell and High Water, so I'm not sure why I made that face, but
I think I prefer Rayner over Pine though.
for this
Yeah.
role specifically, too, yeah, I agree. I don't buy Pine as like a fishing game tracker.
No shot.
Render's got
Way too much of a
definitely has
pretty
the
boy.
energy.
No shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although he's not much of a pretty boy in Hell and High Water. But I'll bring Sicario because it's been way too long since I've seen it, and I think you guys will both like it.
Nice.
So I'll do that, and that means, Trevor, that you need to commit to your word and watch all of what I'm bringing, and not.
I'm gonna try my best.
No, I'm delaying that pick for you now, so it's on you at this point.
No, you were
Well
gonna
played,
delay it
Trevor.
anyways. You were
Well
gonna
played.
delay it.
I was gonna delay it, but now it's because of you, because you said that. Because I said I'll just bring Sicario after, but
Okay.
maybe I won't. I just want to watch those movies again. But I did just watch them recently, so.
You make your decision soon, and then we'll go from there, I guess.
Well, if we shoot for next, never mind. We're metagaming right now. Anyway, thoughts about the movie that we haven't talked about yet.
Not much. I liked it. It was really good.
Will you
Go
watch
watch.
this movie again, Trevor?
On my own,
You would show this movie to someone?
yes, absolutely.
Your dad?
I don't know.
A girl?
Maybe.
You'd show this movie to a woman, like on a date.
Oh, I don't think you would do. No, you can't.
Maybe
It's
not.
a
I don't
date
know.
movie.
You're not. You're
That-
right.
I'm,
Like
I'm questioning that.
I'll
call.
definitely recommend it. I'll be like, hey, this is a really good movie, but I'm not gonna be like, let's. I don't know.
First
it
date.
depends. Well, no, I'm talking like this would be a later on type. Oh my god, I hate now. I have to explain.
Sorry.
This is
just-
Will's
I-
doing.
Yeah, that's on me. I wouldn't show this movie to anyone.
I would. I'd recommend it. It's good.
It's
People
like
should watch this.
Almost a dig at me. You're like, I wouldn't have showed it to a
No,
single
it's not.
soul.
It's not. It's not. It's just this me being a very like emotional person. Like this. movie
Apparently not. You
fucked
didn't.
me
You didn't
up.
even cry once during the
Yeah,
movie.
because I was just,
not
like,
super
really-
emotional. Actually, are you?
I was bummed out.
Dead inside, I would say.
Yeah, I am dead inside. This movie made me dead inside.
The only movie you cried for is fucking Top Gun.
I didn't cry in Top Gun Maverick. All right, let's take it easy. Although there are definitely moments that are
Listen,
cry worthy.
it's just the heat of my entire Twitter timeline turning into fucking Tom Cruise praise
Yeah,
and
please don't
Tottenham
follow
Hotspurs.
Me. Please don't follow me on Twitter.
It's a
'cause
nightmare. It's a
you-
hellscape.
I told Jacob to unfollow me, and he won't. So at this point, it's on him. But I also am now like questioning every time I retweet something. Like, oh shit,
So
Jacob
many,
has
and
to
they're
see
all
that
saying
now.
the same thing.
I'm excited. The Twitter is for me. It's
It's
not
all
for
just
you.
saying like Tom Cruise is kind of the goat, right? And like he saved movies. It's like
It just
1,000
means
of
I'm
those.
not alone. All right, I'm not alone in this moment. It's
just
That's
crazy.
the important part.
It's really wild.
Anyway, we can table this
Oh.
conversation for a much more in depth version.
Real
of it
quick,
at a later date.
apparently, I just scrolled down on the IMDb page for this. Apparently, it's not possible to freeze the lungs by running, even in extreme cold.
What?
The air gets heated by the nose and throat before it reaches the lungs, and the lungs themselves are continually heated by circulating blood.
Who
You
says
die-
that?
I honestly want to knock it down another half.
You'd
point
die from
because of that.
hypothermia long before the lungs could freeze.
I don't believe that. Have we tried
Why
it?
make such a big deal about that being the thing?
Yeah,
and then
that's-
also explaining it like.
I need to
30
make sure
times?
this is true because this is just what's on IMDb. Let's make sure this is
Is that a
actually
user
accurate.
input?
That'd be kind of a.
I don't know.
To be honest, that's an oversight.
This is a nice little research with Trevor moment.
Yeah, he's off camera.
We've got to fill air now because this is technically an audio podcast.
Yeah, technically. Also, literally, it's an audio podcast.
Will, thoughts just about anything while Trevor looks at
I just
WebMD?
think that everyone should reassess their opinion of Tom Cruise movies, like I'm currently doing.
I mean, that's fair enough. You know, I haven't seen a ton of them. I've seen like Risky Business. You know,
I haven't seen Risky Business.
it's a good one.
Yeah,
He does the little slide, and he's a little business boy.
the slide is classic. Doesn't he start a brothel in his parents'
Basically,
home?
yes.
Isn't that what that is?
And
Yeah, that's
they do
wild.
gambling,
Oh, okay. 2 for 2. Nice.
and he's
Yeah,
got
no,
the
I've-
cool
I've-
shades.
I've been revisiting a lot of old Tom Cruise that I've never seen. Color of Money with Paul Newman. I watched that this
Haven't
week.
seen it.
Very good.
Rain Man,
Paul
that's
Newman.
classic.
Paul Newman the GOAT. Rain Man is wonderful. And I also watched A Few Good Men for the first time, which is a lot of fun. It's a very fun lawyer movie.
Yeah. Okay. Everything I'm seeing says
Trevor's
that that's
back.
bullshit. Sorry.
Wow, that's whack as fuck.
That's
I didn't want
yeah.
to hear that, and I didn't need to hear that. You know?
Dude, he
Sorry,
set up a
guys.
whole movie about this premise that's fake. That's a kind of a bummer for someone who's like.
I mean,
this
I would still
realism.
believe her like dying
Yeah.
from being
Of
an
course.
exposure for
Of
that
course.
long.
But
Like,
a coroner
absolutely.
said that was the cause of her death. Like that was a very official reason for it.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid that they would
That's
like.
whack.
There's so many other things. It's like she died of exposure.
She died of frostbite.
I hate to hear
Like
it.
she
I didn't
was
need to
in
hear this.
extreme cold in bare feet.
Do I go 6.5 on the record off the strength
Damn.
of that? No, I don't. But that's unfortunate. Kind of
Yeah,
a bummer.
that's-
How did everyone let that pass? I feel like that's whack for such a
I feel
real
like-
movie.
Probably go out there and it's like, damn, yeah, I could believe that. It's cool. I mean, I even said at the start, I was like, I believe that,
Made sense to
100%.
me.
I was
It
out
all-
there.
It all sounded very.
It all
scientific.
It's
checks
cold as
out.
shit.
Yeah.
It hurts to breathe at some points
It all
out there,
checks
man.
out.
It did. It all checks out.
We're gonna
Except
need
it
to get
doesn't.
an official coroner on the podcast to actually talk.
Our first
about this.
ever, non-homie guest, Pinellas County coroner.
Oh, that'd be sick, actually, dude.
We get him in for like 3 seconds. It's like, so can you die from breathing cold air? He's like, I live in Florida. I don't know. And it's like, well, shit. Why
He
did
just
we
says,
bring
"I've
you?
never seen snow, my lord," and then and then he leaves. Copy that.
Why does he call us my lord?
I don't know. Yeah, tip of the hat.
Tips his hat.
Yeah, but that's pretty
it's good
much, you know,
content.
that's the pod, that's the movie,
Yeah.
that's the life. That's, you know what? Hey, glad I showed it to you guys. Glad I could
Me too.
rewatch it.
Me too.
Glad you got to show it to us. Yeah.
You know, it's always one of those nice little things where you rewatch and you're like, man, that was fucking good. Instead of the other way around
Yeah.
when you rewatch something and you're like, dang. Because that happens every now and again.
Oh,
Did you lose him too, Trev?
yeah. He's.
Oh.
Oh, and that's
Well, you hear what I said in the recording, so.
video.
Rip.
So we're gonna be frozen.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have some
okay,
nice
there-
little,
He's back.
I have some nice little pauses of your faces. This is going to be in the video regardless, because.
Well, we lost you, so
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they're not going to see that.
they're gonna hear
They're
it.
gonna hear it. Yeah, we're all talking probably at the same time, just about.
Yes.
Oh, I can't see you. I can't see you. Anyway, that's a good thing to end.
I'll
with.
mute. I'll make sure to mute Jacob. Will
Okay, good.
whenever that happens, just so it's just me and you.
Good revisionist
That's fine.
history.
Trevor's a
Love to
dog
see
shit
it.
editor anyway.
Wow. That's fucked up.
What the hell,
On the
man?
That's
record.
fucked up. He froze.
And he's
again.
frozen again.
That's
I know, this is.
amazing.
He looks so
Apologize. End
shocked,
the pod.
frozen in
It's on
time.
you.
All right,
You're the editor.
that's the end.
Thank you everyone
Bye.
for listening.
Bye.